You gotta wait a year for that one, Chip. She's too little. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike with Fowler Family Farm. We are gonna get started on this electric fence again for the goats. I already have a supervisor out here. Hello. Are you supervising today? Huh? Are you supervising today? You're wet. You've been in the pond. And Millie's out here. So it looks like Brennan's already out here working on this. I think what he's doing is putting the, he's putting the lock jaws on the T-post so we can run the wire, and then we'll put the step-in post in between where we need them. So Brennan's way over there. Dang it, I forgot to switch into my shoes. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go put shoes on.
I'm on the back side over there.
Okay.
Started up there, went across, down, working on the back side.
So I've been on the phone the last 30 minutes, and I didn't realize Brennan was already out here working. So this is gonna be a 6-string. Looks like he's already got the bottom string started. Yeah, let me turn you around. So you can see we're going from this T-post here, just straight over to the T-post that was already in the ground. It's kind of at an angle, but we're okay with that. He's already put some of the step-in post in, but we can rework those if we have to. Going straight down this fence line and then all the way across. I'll set you guys up on the tripod and let y'all watch us work for a little bit, and then we'll come back to you and talk to you. So if y'all remember, it's gonna be one of those videos again. I don't know what it is. I do know what it is. It's allergies, but why am I struggling so bad this year with it? Okay, if y'all remember, that corner post back there is a straight shot to this one. And it's gonna get us close to this tree, but that's okay. We're not gonna be right up against it. And this is the stuff where we're gonna have to, like some of this stuff on the ground, we're gonna have to move it or pull it up so that it doesn't constantly ground out the wire. I don't really know if it'd be enough to really ground it out if it's just a few touching here and there. Like, let me show you this, for example. Like this is touching. I mean, if you can pull this, it's best to do that. That's the way it's not grounded at all. But even that right there is probably not enough. It probably wouldn't ground enough to really cause much right there. So, but if it's all over the fence like that, it will affect it some. Since we've had no rain, even under these trees, the step-in posts just don't go in very well. And we've broke several over the past trying to force them into this hard dirt, and it just breaks them. All right, so Brendan's come all the way to this spot. So we technically could keep going, but we're giving all this over here a break because this is what they just ate through. And y'all can see that there's nothing for them here to eat. I mean, they would probably eat maybe some of these leaves, but we definitely got to give this a break and let it grow back. They'll probably stay off of this until next spring or next summer. I would like to put them out here eventually. But that's gonna be a lot of work. We'll get to it eventually. So what we do is we pull the string all the way down, and then we move what's in the way, obviously. But we don't want to overwork. So we don't want to move this log because it's not even close. So we want to know exactly where we need to move stuff. So you can see that whole pile right there has to be moved. You know, there's a lot of people that don't even move this stuff. They just let their line hit it because it really doesn't deaden it all that much sometimes. So another issue we're definitely gonna have is the ground is so dry. We're gonna have an issue with the goats, I guess when they do touch the fence, they're not gonna ground. So the ground needs to be moist, somewhat moist, for the grounding rods to react and actually ground. So the ground's so hard, we're using a mallet, and some of them won't even go in with just the mallet, so we're putting water in it. I got it eventually. Oh, that one's in. Here's one that's not all the way in. Perfect. Works pretty good, actually. That's what it did. The little leaf scoop worked pretty well, but it's a lot of bending. I'd rather have a leaf rake. So I got another section up there I'm gonna do real quick. Okay, so we have this bottom row finished, and this will be our most troublesome area because the ground does this. That's really where this side right here is really where we need to focus on to make sure it's not grounding out right here. It's not touching the ground. This will be our worst area. The rest of it's pretty level. Well, at least where we're running it is level. So Brennan ran it from this corner right here. He ran it straight across. He's getting ready to tie it off right there. And that's where we'll just start going back up and do the second line going this way, the second row. But once you have this bottom row done and it's not touching anything, the rest of it should go fairly quick because all you're doing is just adding each line. Your step-in posts are already added. It's already clear off the ground. You won't have to worry about any of that. So once we start on row 2, should be pretty quick. Okay, so Brennan's just leaving it tight right here on this corner. We'll go ahead and add all the step-in posts on this side. Then we'll be ready to start on row 2. Okay, I'm over here with the chickens. I just gave them a refresh on water, and I'm letting that water run over there so that ground can get moist again because it just dries out so darn quick. Let me take you over here though. I think earlier I was talking about how if your ground is very dry, your grounding rods won't react and won't be grounded, so you won't get much of a shock. Let me kind of show you what I've done to help possibly prevent that. It's not foolproof, but it does help, I think. So here's my first grounding rod. That's where the ground wire is contacted here first. Then it goes this way and it contacts this one. And the third one's right over there sticking out of the ground. So that's why I put these grounding rods on this side right here. I've got water that constantly runs right out through here because our water pail is just on the other side of here, their water bucket. There's a puppy nose right there. But anyway, so this ground stays somewhat moist. I think it would definitely be better if the whole ground was moist, but I think this does help a little bit, putting it over here where the ground is typically wet. And I do take a water hose over here every once in a while and just soak it. Just leave it soaking for an hour, let the water run. That way this ground gets moist and it's not all hard all the time. If you have experience on this, let me know what you think. Does it really help or am I just wasting water? This 3-acre pasture here, I had 2 strands along this fence. when I first built it. I put grounding rods right over here by my water faucet, 2 of them, and then I put 3 or 4, I can't remember now, down here by the pond. The ground there is always wet, so I had 2 different zones for grounding rods, and it worked out well. It's just, I took all the wire out down here. I just didn't like it, so I just took it down. And I did have some issues with it too. It would get grounded out a lot as well. But that's your perfect scenario, is a pond, putting your grounding rods right along your pond if you can, because that ground's usually moist year round. Chip made his way over here. You gotta wait a year for that one, Chip. She's too little. Yeah, Megatron wants over here too. So right now, this fence that we're building, that you guys are watching us build, it's gonna be the new buck pen for the next week or 2 probably. And then when I separate the mamas, put half of them with Chip and half of them with Megatron, a group of the mamas will come over here with Megatron. I wanna keep Megatron over here and Chip in the 3-acre pasture, because Chip won't get out of that 3-acre pasture. He definitely won't anyway, because there'll be mamas in there and he'll be more interested in that. But Megatron won't get out of here either, but if he happens to get out of here, he never bothers us. He stays away from us. He just kind of goes and lays down under a tree and just looks at things, really. He never approaches us. He never has once ever bothered us. Now, we still stay on our guard when he's out, but we're less worried about him than we are Chip, even though Chip is our friendly buck. Is that enough water, y'all? Chickens love this stuff. They're not like goats. Goats hate to get wet. Chickens, I guess, love it. They step right in it. So if y'all have been watching long enough, y'all have noticed that my puppies play with the ducks, and the ducks give it right back to them. The ducks play with the puppies, and nothing's ever happened. But yesterday, Bucky was playing with one of my Leghorn chickens over with the laying hens. He almost killed her. So we've been doctoring that chicken up. It's better. All right, so while I was doing all my talking, Brennan has ran the 3rd line. We are going 6 high on this one. We want 3 on the kind of the lower side and then spread them out. We just don't want any chances of them jumping over this time. That's the main reason we're going 6 high. All right, I better start helping Brennan. He's way over there in that corner. I don't even know if y'all can see him. So stay tuned at the end of this video and I'll give you the actual dimensions of this. It's not a perfect square, but I'll tell you exactly how long each side is, so you'll know how big of a pin this is. So basically, when Brennan turns the corner here and goes this way with it, he's at that corner holding it tight. I don't know if y'all can see him. I just come through and put the wire in the spot that it goes in. So this is our highest spot. I mean, you can definitely see where a goat would just easily go under there. We got 2 things we're doing. We will put another rod right here, step-in post, and then one right here as well, and that'll lower this fence. But then right under here, what we do is we'll put logs running vertically this way. That way they don't have an opening to go through, but the water will still come this way. Because this is my natural drainage for rain. This drains, all my rain drains this direction, and then it turns, right up here it'll turn and go out to the pond. As y'all see, this is not difficult. The very start of it is your most troublesome part, just setting the first level of wire, the first row down, and clearing everything under it so it's not grounded out. That's the hardest part. The rest of it's pretty easy. Okay, we're on row 5. I'm just holding the tension right here while Brennan walks it to the next corner, and then he holds the tension on that corner. You don't really have to do it this way. This is just the way we like to do it. You could actually tighten it all at the end if you really wanted to. But once he gets down to that corner, he'll wrap it around that corner, hold it for a second, and then I'll walk all the way to him. And as I walk to him, I put the 5th wire in its place. So I go along each stepping post and do that right there. What's up, Mega? You watching us? Yeah? This is just for you and Chip here pretty soon, buddy. Here in about 30 minutes, you're gonna be in here. Well, look how short we are, y'all. We're on our last roll, and that's all we have left, but we ran out of wire. Brendan's gonna go get some more real quick. Okay, y'all, just a little refresher course on how to tie these two ends together or splice them together. I like to take them and just put a little wrap in it like that, right? Okay, so you're gonna take this left one, put a little loop in it, come over itself, pull it through, just like that, right? I'll take this one and do the exact same thing. I'm not very good at working through a camera. I'm not even looking at the string, I'm looking at the camera. All right, so now you have the same thing, two looped knots right there over each other. Just pull them tight, and then you can pull them together like that. This won't ever come undone, y'all. Ever. Just like that. All right, now just cut these ends off. You do want to cut these ends off. They'll just sit there and spark on each other. And you can get pretty close. All right, just give it one more snug pull. There you go. All right, Brendan is gonna finish pulling it across, and I'll finish putting each one in the top row here. So I'm just gonna show you a quick way how we tie this off. This is pretty tight. We just put an additional lockjaw up here, loop it around like this, and tie it off right here. It holds up pretty well. If they start beating on this for some reason, obviously this could come loose and it'd loosen it, but usually they stay away from it. Brendan's going through and adding some extra step-in posts wherever he thinks he needs some extra ones. You don't have to add this many. We overkill it. Just keeps a good pressure on the fence. But like I said, you don't have to do this many. If your fence is tight, you can do half of what we use, maybe even less. Because once they hit this wire, when it's turned on and it's hot, man, they do not want to touch it again, because it is going to be very, very powerful. All right, y'all, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of a quick one, not too much to it, not a whole lot of instruction, just kind of a, if you're going to run hot wire fence for your goats, you just got to get out there and do it and see what works for you. It may be totally different in your area. You may get really good grounding, and you may not need as powerful a unit as I have. So just practice with it. Just try it a few times if that's what you're gonna do. I think you'll like it. You may have to adjust it for the height of your goats. This goes up past my waist. It goes up past my waist, and honestly, my goats can probably still jump over this. The mamas won't. The mamas will just be happy just being in here getting to eat. They won't really ever try to push this fence. The bucks are the ones that push it. They're the ones that test it, try things out. Can I jump it? Can I go through it? What do I need to do to get out of here? Because I want to be with my girls. That's what they're thinking. So they'll be in here for 2 more weeks. I'm going to measure this off, let you know how big this area is real quick. Okay, I measured it off. This row here is 130 feet. The row right behind you guys, going this way, going all the way that way, is 220. This one here is 150. And then this one here is 230. So that's the biggest run right there. Brendan's already got the bucks in here. I was actually going to put these bucks in on a live, because I'm getting ready to go live and let y'all see that the bucks got in before you actually watch this video, but Brendan already did it. So, all right, we're gonna wrap this video up. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And if I do go live, I'm gonna post it right up here so you guys can check that live out as well. We'll see y'all on the next video. Remember, do the good. Mega, the ducks are eating your food. Well, that's 4 ducks, that's 5 ducks, that's 6 ducks. I think the last duck's somewhere laying on eggs.
Come on.